So we're gonna do this in one take. Um, Me and fascist.eth are no more. Bing! I honestly kind of saw this happening, and this isn't the first time you could say we broke up. While she was here, she basically just was. I don't know exactly what sparked it, but she just ended up calling me like immature, and that how much she wanted to be with her ex boyfriend, and this was definitely like it does hurt, and yeah, what led up to the last breakup, the one before this one, I don't remember. It was definitely small. I went for a walk and came back, but and then she decided to flip flop or to go back to wanting to date me. Um, what led to this breakup was basically like me saying, "Hey, um, you know, you are basically saying, this is the last of your spending money." And when she was with me, she was also very focused on heavy budgeting and saving. And, I heard a little bit about Thorne's perspective about how I shouldn't have been taking, like, trying to control her money. From my point of view, she told me that she asked her dad that she was gonna likely to marry. She was likely to marry me, and I just felt like, I was really looking for a life partner. I expressed this multiple times, but yada yada yada. She basically made it seem like, we were on thin ice with our budget, and I'm like, hey, we're really trying to send this home and really trying to, build something greater. I knew, through prior talks, like, hey, we had maybe $40,000 to put in down for a house or something. And I just felt that the way that she was spending money was just unskillful, and I basically called her out for it. I said, "Hey, you're being retarded for spending this money in this way." And yeah, I was just getting irritated at her, and I didn't want to continue to be in that group of like, because then she added me to like an X group, and I was called NFT Cabal right after. I just called her retarded for buying an NFT instead of investing it into camera equipment, live stream gear. Um, these things are very expensive. Live streaming backpacks are like $10,000, um, and clippers. And yeah, I said, look, you're not doing it the way that you really should be. And I said basically, it's not fair. She basically said that she doesn't care, and I was like, you should care. Like, this is not only your money, but this is like a group collective of not just your money, but our efforts. And yeah, I was just calling her out for that. I left the group. Basically said, she went in my DMs and she was like, "Nigga, why'd you leave the group? Are you really that pissed off at me or whatever?" And I said, "Yes, but you know, uh, I know I'm getting irritated. I'm gonna work on that." And this is a quote. I know I'm getting irritated. I'm gonna work on it. Um, Heart emoji. Talk to you later. And basically within like the 30 minutes or whatever, she just decided to essentially blow off, all of the efforts that I put in for a relationship, to build stability, to build safety and trust. by trying to sexually provoke someone else. Um, and yeah, it did work. It did hurt me. And at the yes, I knew that she was going to be a challenge. I knew that this is was going to take something away from me. Um, but you know, at the end of the day, this challenge to unseal her vagina, to have sex with her, it has to be something we both want to do. And, actions definitely speak louder than words in this case scenario. Um, and I just don't think she really enjoyed my presence as a whole. Maybe in few moments here and there, but I just felt that like the severity of what I did and the severity of what she did to destroy, trust, definitely stems from her trauma and is I feel out of proportion to the thing that I did. And for that reason, I don't feel like I should engage in not only friendship per se, maybe down the line, but any type of relationship. Because trust is such a core foundation for any type of relationship. And I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice, her her a disservice by continuing this path with a half heart and one that is also very hurt. So yeah, I'm just gonna move on. I honestly, I blew it out of the water, man. I did my best, and who's to say what the future holds? Fucking, maybe down the line I'll climb Mount Everest for McDonald's coin. But yeah, I just don't see myself really feeling appreciated um, thoroughly. Um, and maybe I didn't appreciate her thoroughly as well. You know, there was definitely after this, there was like resentment. There was like serious scornful hatred um, for her, and maybe this is because maybe I was repressing too much. Maybe it's because at the end of the day, maybe the work is where she's at is not really what I wanted. Um, but that's okay. We do. To be honest here, I was making a compromise. Like you just get so few loving opportunities to express yourself, and I felt like it was worth like saying, hey, I'm willing to work with you where you're at, and even though you're not perfect for me, or I'm not perfect for you, I feel like it's good enough. um but what's definitely not good enough for me, and I'm willing to work with that. Maybe that's something that I shouldn't be okay with. Maybe I should strive for perfection with my partner. um but yeah, I wish the McDonald's coin team a fucking awesome adventure. You guys are gonna do great. But yeah, I think that this is the end for me, and what I have to put forth for the table for McDonald's coin for now. Yeah, but maybe down in the future something cool will happen. Who knows? Um, yeah. Well, that being said, fucking stay awesome, enjoy life, and conquer evil and bring truth, bitch. See ya.